It's Love Live time, everybody!
Welcome back to the second of these weekly Love Live Nijigasaki Gakuen School Idol Doukoukai, aka Love Live NijiGaku seasonal episode reviews. That is right, good sir, we are on the second episode of Love Live NijiGaku, and also I am not tired anymore, so my voice doesn't sound dead. Yay for that, I guess. Once again, before I go on to the episode, I just want to remind everybody that the Weeb Club's first seasonal episode just premiered on the Weeb Club channel. And again, we talk about Kuma 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 Bear, Dragon Quest I's Adventure, and Jujutsu Kaisen, along with Love Live NijiGaku. My audio is a bit weird on that one. I have no idea what happened, but we'll figure that out as time goes on. Again, I really encourage you guys to subscribe to the Weeb Club. It's about to reach 1,000 subscribers, and I really would like to see it hit that before the end of the year. That would be really cool. And also, listening to Craft Store, Vindy, and Namanji talk about Love Live is actually pretty interesting, because it's not just me losing my mind. So there's that. Once again, to go over the format of how I structure these videos, it's a review slash, my own personal thoughts on the episode, and then the second half is all analysis. One thing I do want to start doing is I want you guys in the comments right now to tell me your thoughts on the episode and your own little predictions for what will be happening as the show goes on. So go ahead and leave a comment down below, and also if you don't want to miss these reviews, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss any more of these reviews as they come out. Don't worry, by the way, I will be uploading regular content that's like my usual analysis content as time goes on. It's just taking me a little bit because of my schedule, so and of course leave a like and spread the video around if this is something you want to see more of. You guys seem to like this unscripted format, so I think I'm feeling more confident with how I'm going to be structuring these videos from now on, so let's go. Love Live NijiGaku's second episode is a character-focused one, this time on KasuKasu-I, aka Kasukasu-I. And I'm gonna be honest, I was laughing my ass off this entire episode. This was probably one of the funniest episodes in Love Live for a while. Now, I'm saying that a lot recently with the first episode. With the last video, I said that that was the best first episode in a Love Live series. I still hold true to that. But this episode was a lot more of what I wanted to see. I was worried that as we got into each of the little character focus things, that we would start to get more of like this gacha anime adaptation feeling. If you've seen like, Magi or Record, you know what I mean, where it's kind of like a bunch of disconnected little character focus sequences that have nothing to do with the overall plot. Or at least it seems that way, because it's just a bunch of like random little events that happen and I end up not caring too much. But I have to say, so far, Love Live NijiGaku is turning out to be the best gacha game adaptation, and the only other one it really has competition with is Precone. So, it says a lot. Gacha anime need to step up. That's enough sidetracking, because KasuKasu episode was so much fun. But it introduces a lot of the conflict and a lot of the theming that I'm going to be going over in my second half, but it mainly has to do with the idea that, again, it's introduced that Setsuno was trying to push the rest of the group to adhere to what she believed a school idol should do, and that would naturally lead to conflict. We saw this in School Idol Project before with Nico, and that's why in my predictions video I thought that this was what it was going to be, and so that's another check for me being right. I wasn't so sure last episode that if I was going to be correct about that aspect of, the School Idol Club breaking up because of opposing ideas, but as this episode revealed, I was in fact correct in predicting that. So, yay me. Yay. I truly am omniscient. But it was revealed in the scene that by forcing the rest of the group to adhere to what Setsun believed the school idol should do, this caused a rift when Kasumi fought back. And of course, we get the opening, finally. And Nijiiro Passions is so good. There's actually a thread on Twitter that I retweeted, I'll link in the description, that talks about little things that you may or may not have missed about the opening. But if we go through my general thoughts on what I thought of the opening, the past 4 Love Live openings were all basically just an idol performance. And while that is the case for like mainly the second half of Nijiiro Passions, it more so has the characters singing within these different environments. And again, we've seen that in previous openings, but not to this level. This almost feels more like an Idol Master opening, if you know what I mean. And the way they're able to have the characters have their mouths sync up perfectly to the singing, the way they have all these little pieces, like the girls in suits. Is it possible to say that I'm gay for a girl? And it really highlights the strength of this anime, which is the look. Again, I was saying that this might be my favorite look in out of all the series so far. But the clean lines, the way everything looks so smooth. I've seen people complain about the lack of detail on Karin's vest, or Kasumin lacking the pin, but they simplified them for the sake of animating them well. And you know what? That was a good decision. That was an amazing decision because the way they move so fluidly and they're expressive, there's so many good expressions in this show, especially this episode, which was nothing but facial expressions everywhere. And in this opening, it highlights all of the things that make this show great. The camera work, the lighting, the smoothness in the animation, the way they express the personalities with each of the characters. The CG sections, again, I don't think it looks as good as Sunshine's did in its prime, but considering that they have to optimize it for the sake of the new art style, this is impressive. This show's CG and the way it looks is impressive, because this is the first time we're seeing this art. This is the first time we're seeing Love Live look this way, and the fact that they chose to animate it this way to not just maximize on the fluidity of the 2D animation, but also how the CG looks is a good decision on Sunrise's part. You can really tell that K-Lab and like Bushiroad and the staff behind Love Live really care about this property by how much they like do these little details, all these little references, all these little things. There's a lot of attention being put into this show. And I've even seen people on Twitter talk about how so far, even though what it's adapting is just parts from the actual, gacha game Sif All-Stars, it's adapting it in a way that's probably better than the way the game played out. I'm actually planning on going into Sif All-Stars and verifying what is and what isn't different about the show, because I feel like that would help me figure out what they're doing well and how they're changing the story. Speaking of the story, we start off with the first thing that we've seen that's like a little shift in the story. So apparently this cat Hanpen doesn't really appear until later on in Sif All-Star story mode when Rina's face is revealed, but considering the fact that Nijigaku's anime doesn't really care that Rina's face is shown, it makes sense that they would move events around. Again, this episode starts with KasuKasu throwing Hanpen onto Nana Nakagawa's face. Nana Nakagawa, who could she be? Oh, I wonder who it is. As well as Karen, prior to this, sneaking her way into the office with this interesting little look she does towards the bookshelf with the student directory on it, which the Karen I know is kind of dumb and is bad with directions. And I think a lot of people have pointed this out too, that there's a lot of differences they're making. I'm feeling more it's like Karen's good at like the relational, like understanding people aspect smarts, but she's just not book smart and is bad with directions, which would make sense. She's just airheaded. But we'll see how that goes. I'm betting that Karen will be one of the last ones they get into the group. But again, these are all just predictions. We'll see. Especially if they're going based off of the way Sif All-Stars' game mode was, which again would require me to look into Sif All-Stars' story mode. Kasumin then, after distracting Nana with Hanpen, goes and steals the school idol club thing. What's funny is ever since watching Love Live Sunshine, realizing that Chika spelled club wrong and like the subs say Kolb, I always read school idol Kolb whenever it shows like nameplates. So that was something I had I noticed that I was starting to do. That's a tangent. It's a tangent. Shut up, WattheWut. So Kasumin gets it and tries to go to the club room to bring it back. And there's a new club there, and I looked it up, and what is a Wondervogel? Someone in the comments, please inform me as to what a Wondervogel is, because I looked it up. It didn't tell me anything. I think they're like the Boy Scouts, they're like the Girl Scouts. I didn't get it. I don't understand. What is a Wondervogel? Please someone tell me what a Wondervogel is and why did they get their own room? So again, Nana was 5D chessing Kasumin the entire time, and KasuKasu goes to Shizuku to talk about it, and we're seeing hints of what I think will become important later on is Shizuku has a very obvious duty to her club first and foremost, her acting club. Now that the school idol club is gone, we've got mentions of this last time, that she has more time for the acting club. And I'm willing to bet that a lot of what her character-focused episode will be is them trying to recruit her and try to let her leave the acting club, because what she really wants to do is, once again, be a school idol. KasuKasu then goes outside and wants someone else to join her club after asserting that she wants to be the new club president. She goes outside and hears Yu and Ayumu talking over it, and we get this super cute interaction between the three of them. We get hints of jealous Ayumu because Ayumu makes a lot of noises this episode. She makes a lot of these cute little noises, and it's really funny to hear. But we get like a lot more of what KasuKasu's character is, and I'm seeing people think that KasuKasu is just another Nico ripoff, or she's a copy of her, which isn't entirely true. The way I kind of word this is that Nico is someone pretending to be cute because the idol aspect of her is a persona. She's trying to be cute so that she can get the attention. she's sort of like prideful to a fault, and sort of confident when she doesn't need to be. Whereas KasuKasu is, as we see from this episode, very sensitive, very affected by the way other people see her, really easily jealous, wants people to pay attention, but she is sort of just naturally cute. You never really get a sense that what she's doing when she does those little cute faces is a persona. You get the sense that that's just actually how she's acting, and that's the way that she believes she should be acting, which is an important distinction you have to make between the two. Too Long Didn't Read, Nico is ironic and Kasumin is unironic. That's basically the biggest difference between the two. And maybe if there's enough of a demand, I'll make a video comparing the two's personalities, maybe when the show's over. But again, we have this cool interaction where again we see what Yu's role is. Yu is that producer, she's giving encouragement to all of them, but we're also seeing what I believe will be a future conflict that was another point of talking in School Idol Festival All-Stars story mode, but again, we'll see how that ends up going, because Ayumu's we get a lot more Ayumu focus in this episode. There's a lot of Ayumu focus alongside KasuKasu that we didn't really get much of in the last episode, despite Ayumu getting her own song. Last episode was more so a focus on Yu, as opposed to this episode where we're seeing a lot more of all the other characters, which I thought was really cool. Yu ended up playing more of a backseat role, encouraging them, because, you know, that's what a producer does. There's also this funny little sequence. There's a lot of Love Life flexing his comedic timing in this episode. Like just these little cuts between all the scenes. Ayumu does this cute little wave. They go to the construction site where there's no audio except the loud construction. And then the kids on their heads like pulling on Kasumin's cheek and use hair twin tails. And we're seeing Ayumu be the kind and helpful person that she is. You know, she's playing this game with these old folks. She's playing with these kids. We're getting all this subtle characterization shown through actions rather than, you know, everything being focused alongside the big focus, right? Which I think is really interesting. It's a lot of just showing me the characterization, which was really cool. And then we get this scene where KasuKasu does her little intro to show Ayumu how to be a school idol, and then Ayumu trying her hardest to be cute, and we really see that aspect of her lack of confidence in herself. And it's so cool to see this much like focus on Ayumu, to see this much of a confidence issue that she has that she pushes through because of Yu. When she has this conversation later on with Karen, it's very much like Karen reveals to her what she should be focusing on, that she should be speaking to someone that supports her, and that is of course Yu. And that's sort of already what KasuKasu believes in, but she's so focused on that aspect of being cute, which started the whole conflict in the first place. And as she like basically borderline traumatizes Ayumu, she realizes that from the line that she says,
そんなんじゃファンのみんなに可愛いは届きませんよ.
she's just doing the same thing that Setsuna did. And of course this isn't the end of her character arc, and just because these moments happen, these character revelations occur, doesn't mean this is quote-unquote character development. There's still the matter of the fact that KasuKasu is very like sensitive and lacks confidence in herself, and basically does this because she really wants to have people love and adore her because she needs it. There's also further relational things between Yu and Ayumu that the series is going to focus on a lot. But what's cool about these episodes is how much information, how much characterization, and how much of the story they pack into it, while also keeping these fun little bits, keeping you entertained the entire time. It's very dense the way they're putting it together, because they can afford to, because there's no big stakes, right? There's no big event that they have to focus on. I almost feel like this show's not gonna have them go to Love Live in the first season or even focus on it at all. That would be the best course of action for this show, because they should be focusing on this group of what is essentially solo idols in one giant club. Again, NijiGaku is only NijiGaku. They're not Muse, they're not Aqua with a group name that summarizes them all. They're literally just NijiGaku. And once KasuKasu talks more to Yu and they talk about what it means to like have these different ideals of what it is to be a school idol, then Ayumu comes and does her introduction, which was more in line with the personality that we've seen of her before in other material outside of this. And to see how she pushes herself to do that is really cool. That gives like a whole new like level of meaning behind how she usually acts, and that's really cool to me. And of course we get the performance of Poppin' Up, which was a banger. This song's really good. This show's 3 for 3 with good songs so far. 5 for 5 you also count the opening and the ending. I really like the way they're going about these imagination sequences rather than like actual performances. It's really cool. One thing I really want to emphasize is how good the music is in this show. The music in this show is amazing. Like, there's some tracks in here that straight up made me tear up just by hearing them. But what's even funnier is the way they're using it. In the scene where Ayumu's doing her little character introduction, her little idol introduction, there's this part where as she says the line, the music just cuts out to emphasize how low she's speaking, and it's actually the funniest thing ever. And of course, we get the end credit scene, where we get the big reveal that, oh my god, Nana Nakagawa Setsuna, even though they have the same face and hair color and eye shape. No, I think they're not even really they're not even really trying to hide it, because it's really not important to. What's important more so is the meaning behind why she's hiding it rather than surprising the audience. It's not meant to be an audience reveal, because they wouldn't have revealed it in literally episode 2 if it wasn't supposed to be revealed and obvious. Sort of like dramatic irony, if you will. What's cool is that Karen kind of forces Setsuna into this position. From what I understand of Sif All-Star Story Mode, Setsuna herself chooses to show you who she really is, which I think might happen later on, because I think the only people who will know of this from this point on are gonna be the 4 who are there confronting her, rather than Yu, and I think Yu's not gonna find out till later on, which will be pretty cool, pretty interesting. Basically, if you want to know my thoughts on this episode, I thought it was better than episode 1, and episode 1 had chase, so there was a lot to unpack in this one. There's probably more to unpack in this second episode than there was in episode 1. And starting into that, Kasumin, as far as I understand, uses a lot of this imagery of Alice in Wonderland. Her Wonderland is essentially what she views as a perfect world, what her ideal is, which is that everything should be cute. And again, Alice in Wonderland is usually, at least from the more cutesy side of it, because of funny rabbits and stuff, seen as more of like the cutesy stuff. And that's what Kasumin's all about. She views everything as, she's cute, the world needs to be cute. But again, that conflict came because Setsuna's, as explained by Yu, is more cool than she is cute. There's that inherent conflict of what it means to be a school idol. And this is where I get into why NijiGaku is themed after the rainbow. There's of course Nijigasaki, Niji meaning rainbow, the entire series being themed after rainbow, so much focus on all their colors, more so than I think even Sunshine has a focus on the rainbow. And the reasoning is because the theming used for the symbolism of the rainbow in Sunshine is completely different than it is being used in NijiGaku. There is some overlap, but the specifics of it are completely different. And as said by Yu in her monologue to Kasumin, having different goals is inevitable. They're naturally not going to agree and they're naturally going to fight. But the cool thing about a club is that they should be able to work together. Even though they have these different goals, maybe one day they're going to find overlap. And what is a rainbow if not vastly different colors standing side by side forming something beautiful? That's what NijiGaku is. My dog is barking. It's the fact that all of them have these conflicting ideals of what it means to be an idol. And as Yu says, there's nothing wrong with that. Clashing and working together is perfectly fine and should be encouraged. And I think that distinction is really cool that NijiGaku makes. There's also the fact that Ayumu's entire reason for being a school idol is that she wants to embrace the things that she loves. And the way she accesses her confidence is by speaking to the person that she loves and wants and supports her. And who is that other than you? This setting up their future conflict and character dynamic, which will be, again, super interesting to see. But I'm interested in seeing how all these differing ideals, these differing characteristics are going to be going forward. Because what's interesting to me about School Idol Projects was that School Idol Project made Muse this one united front to the point where when they would talk, they all agreed on everything. They basically came to the same conclusion throughout the entire show, and everything they did was achieved through their combined unity. It was the same thing with Sunshine, but the fact that NijiGaku not only asserts that they're all individual solo idols working together in a club, and the fact that they don't have a club name, they're still defining themselves as a club for their performances, really nails that distinction down. And it's something to think about as the show goes forward. In terms of predictions, I think I'm doing pretty well so far. You know, the fact that the club broke up because of personal differences, performance of Chase, and how Yu's gonna be the one to help bring the club together. I think I'm doing pretty good on predictions. Again, if I'm wrong, please let me know so I can ignore you. And I'm just really looking forward to how the show's going forward. I haven't had this much fun in a seasonal since Love Live Sunshine Season 2 came out back in 2018. I'm having so much fun and I can't wait to see what the show brings us. What I'm looking forward to even more is seeing how each of these characters work out, because I'm willing to bet that Setsuna's episode is not going to be the end of her character thing. She's gonna get more than one focus, and it's gonna be one with her dealing with her situation with the student council, but also another episode where she meets Yu and Ayumu. Hopefully that's what happens, because we have 11 more episodes to go, and I feel like they should spread this out a lot more. And the end game is obviously going to be the three of them, Setsuna, Ayumu, and Yu, uniting. There's no way you're gonna just bring them together. I'm really just excited learning more about these characters I barely know anything about, and watching this has been a really fun experience. Speaking of watching this, I did just get done with my Discord watch through of episode 2, so if you want to be getting in on that every week, you should join my Discord. And again, let me know what you think of these videos going forward in the comments below, and by liking and subscribing and hitting the bell so you never miss another one. Thank you for watching another video by yours truly, WattheWut. These videos wouldn't be possible without my patrons, namely people like Barbu, Andrew, Courtney, Natty, Couch, Mr. Cynical, and Thanks Nitro. If you want more information on videos that are coming out, you can always follow me on Twitter, check out my Discord, and if you don't want to support me on Patreon, you can always donate to my coffee. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
We got you covered, friends. For the top tier analysts, turn on the bell. Like, subscribe, and join us in Idle Hell. Hey, WattheWut hive mind never make you frown. Hey, good times, love life, got all the idols down. Hey, ain't nobody better than the anime master. Preaching to the masses, but we better than the pastor. Attitude boogeyman coming out the rafters. Kamen Rider driving, we be racing way faster. Pull a hella bitches.